Hello everyone, welcome back to another supply drop. So this came in. This is Wing and a Prayer by Lock and Load Publishing. And I just want to say thank you, Lock and Load Publishing sent this so I could unbox it for you and share some thoughts. Now what we've got here is, obviously the cover. I love B-17 bombers. Like, this is gorgeous just because it's got B-17. And right there, not very good with identifying all of my World War II German aircraft, but like a Me-109 possibly coming in to shoot it down. Now what's interesting is as I'm looking at the cover upside down, it's kind of faded out a bit, but when I'm looking at it through the camera screen, the B-17 just pops out to me, looks gorgeous. So this is fantastic. Now, what is Wing and a Prayer? Let's read the description. It is daylight bombing missions over Germany. Oh, that's a little... Here it is. A Wing and a Prayer is designed by Erich von Rossing, where you, the player, me, assume the role of a commander of a squadron of B-17 flying fortresses stationed in England during World War II. Your goal is to manage your squadron aircraft and complete a campaign consisting of a series of daylight bombing missions against strategic Axis targets. To complete your mission, it's going to take a wing and a prayer. Fantastic. So we have complexity, solitaire playability. Well, I'm glad they rated that high because my understanding is it's a solitaire game. So I'm glad it's got a good suitability for solitaire play. So then again on the back, then you see from the back side of a B-17 looking forward. So wonderful. I'm excited. That's enough of the outside of the box. Let's get in the inside. I can tell you all my thoughts about it as we go along here in a second. And there's the shrink wrap. Alright, so here we go. We're going to take the lid off. And I'm going to set that off to the side. What do we have? Dice. So now we have, I'm going to say this is like the Lock and Load standard. These are, these are pretty good sized dice. I normally play with much smaller dice that I roll inside, like little cups for 2 dice games. I have a dice tower if I need more, but these are a little bit bigger. Plus, here's some more. So this is like the Lock and Load standard size. So if you don't like this size, obviously you can get any dice you want. But 2 things that greeted me were the dice. Hello, dice. Then we have pack of cards. Ooh, let's see. I'm not even sure. I didn't look at the content list to tell you how many cards there are. But here we have a stack that I'm holding upside down. There you go. Awesome cover art for Wing and a Prayer. You got your B-17 bomber. So I love that. So when I play, I'll make the decision on if I want to sleeve these. But if I do, I just happen to like this artwork enough that that will be clear sleeves. Now what do we have here? Abbeville, year, target information. Alright, so there you go. We'll have to see what else is in here. What I'm doing this time is using a sharp knife, my X-Acto blade, to open these. Let's take a peek. I'm sure you want to see other components. We'll get there. Since cards are what I encountered first, let's just take a peek. Again, I didn't see how many cards there were, but let's see. We have more than just targets. There's actually quite a few things. So we do have a few targets. Now I'm just going to go and grab like a few at a time. So here this one showed some targets. I'm assuming those are targets. What do we have here? More targets. Looks like they're probably color-coded, have a year, probably information like how many wings you take, how many target units you have. Again, I'm just unboxing. I haven't read the rules, so I can't really explain to you what all the different numbers and symbology is for. Then we have more targets. Again, color-coded. And we do have year. So the first batches I was looking through were 1942. Here's 1943. Progressing, we have more. Alright, so this looks like a deck pretty much entirely of targets, and we're going from 42 out to 43, and then here's some for 44. Alright, so we have a deck of targets. Great. I'm just going to put these back as good as I can. Obviously, I just got rid of the shrink wrap for these, so I'm just going to set them aside and hopefully not get them all messed up. Manual version 2.2. I'm curious what 1.1 was like, what 1.0. Now, prior to getting games, I try to get on like Board Game Geek, go to forums, and kind of see what people are saying. And if I remember right, there were people kind of upset about the manual revision. So I'll have to see if the books are all 2.2. And so what's nice is to see that as the game is printed and going forward, looks like later printings gets newer manuals. So I'm actually very excited to read this. That's one thing I do though. If a game has, let's say on the internet, like version rules 4, for example, I'm not going to play with those rules. I want to play with the rules that come in the box specifically. So if this isn't the latest version of rules, this is not what I'm going to play with. So when I play, and then if I can film a review or playthrough, then you'll see exactly what I'm getting. But since I'm at version rules 2.2, then this should be fairly clear, concise, easy to play. So this is Ringing a Prayer, Bombing the Reich manual. And again, just lovely, evocative artwork, right? B-17, explosions going around, you got stuff being shot down. Gorgeous. I know, how many people say that about rule books, right? So now you've got, I'm going to say this is turning out to be maybe the standard lock and load. You've got a nice thick cardstock cover, I guess is what it's called, but it looks sturdy. And you've got your nice glossy kind of magazine interior. What do we have for rules? So here's your welcome. You got an introduction. It says red text denotes examples of notes. Okay, so there's probably like examples of play, website for support. All right, great. Then we pop into the rules, and we'll see how many pages. So again, we got looks like play aid setup, samples, explanations of icons. So the rules just automatically hop right into explaining what the components are. Great. Here's the target cards we just looked at. That'll explain what everything is. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love the full color pages and examples and nice big pictures of what you're talking about. And it looks like everything is clearly detailed. So I should have no problems finding what things are, what they do, and then how they fit within the rules. So the first 13 pages kind of looks like examples of components or explanations. Getting into rules. Again, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, what every single page is, but we're seeing here conducting air combat. Now, when you have a solo game like this, this is what I want to know when I play. I have played some solo games in the past where it's a very structured process for you. You do this step, this step, this step, and there's very little decisions or decision points that the player has, because the system will tell you, roll this chart to do this, roll this chart to see travel direction and whatnot. So I'm curious to see what decision points you get here. But obviously, because it's solo, there has to be a process you follow. But what will be nice to see is how much of that process is just predetermined paths that you're rolling dice on, and how much of it is you, the player, get to make some decisions and choices on maybe what aircraft frames you take, which groups you send out. Let's see here, and you got loose formations. Again, good examples with lots of text, and that's what I need. I need examples, so that's good to see it in there. Plus, I love, you got the arrow, so you got you're showed here, which leads you to this step. Here's how everything fits together. No, it's fantastic. Just on a first glance, I think these are really good. I think they look really, really good. So this is like your rule book and playbook kind of rolled into one so far. And again, more clear pictorial examples of how things should run. Now, the rules, I can't say that this is rules dense because, again, a lot of it is pictures and examples, but it looks like it's going to be rules thorough. It should explain everything I need to know. We're into combat, page 30, 31 so far. You've got your bombing attacks, conducting egress flak attack. So as you're getting out of the area you're shot at. So very good. Again, we're on to page 34, 35, 36, 37. Now 14, you have a 2-player mission turn. Oh, 2-player. All right. Then designer notes. So it looks like page 35 is where we stop at the majority of what you need for your single player. Now here you've got 2-player German, 2-player. Okay, so if I back up, here's some optional rules. Here's the bombing run. So it really looks like about page 31, 32, you start moving into some optional rules. Or 30, yeah, 32, maybe 33 here. Optional rules. So first part of your book then is, so maybe 31 pages of rules filled with examples. Actually, I'm reading this. The text is large. You got a nice 2-column text. I'm just getting to a point where I don't enjoy reading the small font 3-column text. So this looks good. Oh, we got some player aids here. Okay, designer notes. There's an errata. Okay, awesome, because this is version 2.2. Errata is nice so people can see maybe what they've had changed. Wing and a Prayer mission board, pre-mission, campaign log. What we got? Wing and a Prayer, another campaign log. Then your mission log that you'll fill into the campaign. And that's the back. Alright, then you have credits. So there's your version 2.2 manual. Let's set that aside. Now we have a squadron briefing card. Oh, right. Well, exactly what this is, I'll have to read the rules to find out. But one thing I enjoy, because I am a visual person, this is visually appealing to me. So I've got, you know, a large picture, evocative picture. I see ready, not ready, so I can track, you know, my squadron, I guess, find out who's ready to go. Mission victory points, mission VP track, campaign VP track. So it looks like I might play with this off to the side, and you know, I'll be moving counters around to track stuff, which is fine because it's single-sided. All right, perfect. Let's move the drink. Let's set that there. All right, what is this? Player sequence of play. Oh, we got quite a few aids here. Woof. All right. That's where folks might start to call information overload a little bit. Actually, that's not bad though. So this, it looks like a lot. See, I had to admit, sometimes I'm intimidated when I first look at things, and then as you start to read through, this is exactly what a person needs, is a nice summary, because I'm showing the step, and then, you know, just a quick look at it, not upside down. It shows you the sequence of play, which probably the point number will take you specifically to the rule book so you can read any details that you have. And it has just enough of an example to, you know, probably remind you what to do in that step. So with these play aids, actually I'm very excited. So we'll read the rules, we'll have the play aid. So we had here, this side said your 1-player sequence of play, then you have pre-mission sequence, fighter versus fighter aircraft, interceptors versus bombers. So great. Pretty much everything. Probably this has everything you need to run your mission and campaign. So it said single player. I know they said there's a 2-player variant, so we'll just set that off to the side. Oh, and here's your 2-player sequence of play. So probably same thing, right? Everything you need to play. Also, well, check this out. If it's 2-player, here's some German resource charts. Again, this is for your 2-player game. So fantastic. How do we do that? Don't know, haven't learned yet. But now we have target damage tables in here, campaign success tables, your war progress events table. All right, so again, your support for the campaign, because you're running this through quite a few missions to see how well you do. Lost bomber fate table. No, there's another target damage table. That's fine. Combat table. But no, Lost Bomber Fate. No, we don't want to lose them. Alright, and then on the inside, your campaign sheet there. Bloop, 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 bloop. What do we have? Air and flat combat results. What do we got? Enemy interceptor type table. Right, this is the part that I know some people get drowned out in, is all the charts, all the dice rolling you do to decide what's happening. But you gotta remember, on a solo game, that almost is a necessity, because you don't have a person who's deciding what to send against you. You're playing against the game. But the charts look fantastic. They look very well laid out. They're clearly labeled what they are, and the legibility is good. Even though I'm looking at these upside down so I can show you a lot of things I can read. You know, current year, are they BF-109s, Focke-Wulf 190s, ME-110s, or ME-262 jets? On that year, on a roll of 6, I get that. So you even have aircraft by year. Yeah, so easy to read. Then on the inside, formation event tables, escort availability tables. Now, when I look back, I've never played the B-17 Queen of the Sky, but a lot of these things remind me of things I've seen on people playing like YouTube videos, right? So nothing that should be really different for folks. The difference is with like Queen of the Sky, you're focusing on one bomber. This is saying you're doing bomber squadrons. So there you go. Again, nothing that looks foreign to me. It's all in the charts. Formation cards, which is good because pretty soon we actually got the counters. And here, looks like you would set this out, and you're going to be able to set your units. Now this is interesting because this card right here says it's version 2.1. So even these probably have some slight updates. Now, I haven't looked online, but I'm sure that if this, needed, they probably have available that you could maybe download and use. But, so here, looks like I would put my aircraft in different spots. So I've got lead elements. Do we have cloud cover? High elements. You got a low element and your tail element. So that looks like 12 aircraft at some point you can manage and lay out onto this chart here. All right, fantastic. That is a single-sided. I'm going to need a lot more play space to lay the charts out. All right, now this is, okay, this has got to be your campaign map right here. Now, your campaign map, this is another sturdy cardstock. So I'm going to have to find my, probably, what I do for plexiglass is I've actually got a poster board that I purchased from Walmart. So it's got cardboard and then it's got the like the plexi. So I just put this and I can actually mount this on the wall. So here's your campaign map. Looks like your squares where you track movement of your units. You've got where flak locations are located, your target locations, fighter escort range tracks over here. So we flip it and you'll see down at the bottom your mission turn track. Looks like the turn track is by year, event, possibly event rolls for as things happen and progress. Then you have your mission deck. You have your completed missions right there. So nice. And of course it is single-sided. Now I can unfold this for me completely. And the way the camera said, you can't see it all, but it is it's fairly good sized. So we'll put that off to the side. Let me see, make sure I'm folding that correctly. Now you have counters, and these are pretty good sized counters. What are those? Full inch, inch and a quarter. They're nice, and they are like saying, the lock and load standard. I see this now where you just pop it because they're individually die cut. They don't connect to their neighbors, and that means if you wanted, you could if you want to cut the corners, but these are actually ready to play right out of the box. Plus, again, they've got that nice cut where the side nub that actually connects it to the sprue is a very thin connection, so you don't even have to trim the sides. They're double-sided, so that's got a destroyed, possibly very wounded bomber. And until I get some more counter trays, right, they just pop right back in. So what do we have? We actually have here three counter sheets. So I don't need to tell you every single thing that we've got, but I see possibly some commander types. You got your bombers, name, maybe just like elite pilots or elite crew members, victory point counters. There's some Lady Luck counters, your escort trackers. Of course, these are all double-sided, and I see they got the cloud marker, so looks like light clouds, heavy clouds on that one. Oops, I just popped another bomber out. A B-24. Oh, that's nice. So you have, in addition to the B-17s, I see B-24Gs, B-24Hs, and of course I'm trying to put in a counter that I popped out so you can't quite see everything. And then there's some P-51s, I think, or P-38 Lightning. Is that P-38 Lightning? So we got aircraft. Oh, then a lot more. Here's some German. So we got P-51s, P-47, B-17Gs. You got some Germans, the BF-109s, ME-110s, Focke-Wulf 190, ME-262. Let's see. Then it's got some light flak. Then finally, it looks like these are crews. So even by crew, let's see, they have Green Crew. And then they also have Dallas Dolly, Crowhound, Bobby Sock. So possibly you've also got crew by named bombers. That's awesome. So if you want some more experienced crews, looks like you might be able to recruit somebody with a little more experience for named aircraft, airframes. Excellent. And then again down here, then a lot more of the B-17 models. Looks like it's just B-17Fs and B-17Gs. That's what I noticed. I could be wrong. So you got some B-24. So there's about 4 different bomber frames you have, and then several different aircraft types for your escorts, and then 4 different German types of aircraft to come against you. So you got a nice selection of items there. So we'll put those back, and they're all that good size, which is great because I tend to lose my 5/8 and ½ inch counters. So these are all really good size, and that's what comes in the box. So you have 3 counter sheets, you have your large display map that you can lay out. Okay, that's good. And the only reason I talk about plexiglass too is the fact that it helps it to lay flat, because when it folds, I have the unfortunate where I can never quite get stuff to lay flat. So but I got to put counters on the fold areas, they never sit right. So this is definitely one I want to put down under some glass. Then you have your formation chart. Now these came, the player aids, they all kind of came stacked within each other, so I'm just going to lay them in here. But you have a player aid, you got a second player aid. This one has bombing attack table. This was your 2-player sequence of play. Here was your 1-player sequence of play. So what is that? That's like a 4 player aids. Again, chalked with lots of information for you. Then you have your squadron briefing card. Fantastic. Then you had, I set it back here, a gorgeously covered manual, version 2.2 as far as this box goes. We then have 2 included die 6, and I've already got rid of the plastic shrink, so these are going to be floating around. Unfortunately, I need to get like a deck box for them, but cards, lots of target cards, and that's nice. I've got, you know, another bomber game that I'm also learning, but it has like 400 cards. So this actually is kind of nice. I was like, this is it for the cards? I was like, where's the other 300 cards? This is good actually. So I'm happy with that. So there you go. That's everything that comes in A Wing and a Prayer. So, oh, the cover. That's it. So again, thank you to Lock and Load Publishing. This is going to be another great game to get out and play. And I look forward to showing you this, you know, maybe in action, do like a short play, kind of give you an example of how this works. But for now, I just wanted to share with you what's inside the box. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next supply drop.